What's up, y'all? Thank you for tuning back into the Travel Hippies channel. I have been in Colombia for literally a month. Today marks a month that I left the States and went overseas, did something different, went international. And I am so happy I made this decision. In the month that I've been here, I've already grown and learned and evolved so much. Travel heals you in so many ways. I am such a big advocate for getting out and traveling as often, as frequently, as much as you can. Every time that I have traveled, I have become a different person. And I wanted to come on here today and make a video explaining why travel heals you so much and why you should travel as often as you can. The first way that comes to mind, it allows you to get out of your comfort zone. Oftentimes in our daily lives, we have a routine for ourselves and we can get stuck in that routine, and it doesn't allow for us to invite in spontaneity, invite in change, and just kind of like switch up our schedule unless you're intentional about doing so, intentional about getting out, meeting friends, and trying the new bar or coffee shop in town. And it's really easy to get stuck in the routine of work, gym, home, sleep, shower, repeat. Travel really allows you to broaden your horizons, be exposed to new things, new culture, new food, new places, new venues. There are so many things. Like literally, I just found out yesterday that Medellin has an ice cream shop that has weed infused. I've never seen that before, so I can't wait to go check that out. Things like that travel just opens you up to and exposes you to, not to mention all of the excursions that you can go on while you're traveling. Traveling has also healed me and heals others by the fact that you're around different people. When you're in the same city for a long period of time, and you have your set friend group, your set acquaintances, and you have your same work family, etc. As time goes on, people get a certain perception of you because they know you or have known you in that period of time, and it kind of makes you stuck in a box that sometimes it's hard to get out of. And so traveling, you get to be a different person. You get to be the person that's more in alignment with you because you're only with yourself or people that you're very close to. And it allows you to be open and explore who you really are without the added pressure of people thinking they know who you are or trying to keep you in a box of somebody that you used to be. And on that same note, as you're becoming this new evolved version of yourself that you always wanted to be, that's always been inside of you, you meet new people while you travel, and you don't have to put on a facade or worry about how that person might know an old version of you. No, you can show up exactly as you are, and if it's in resonance, you and that person will develop a relationship, and if not, you guys can peacefully go your separate ways. I think sometimes when we have friendships and relationships in our lives that have been there for such a period of time and you both change and evolve, try to hold on to people because at one point you guys had an amazing friendship or an amazing relationship and nothing inherently happens or it goes wrong. You guys just aren't on the same frequency anymore. And instead of letting them go in peace and love, we hold on to people that we actually don't relate to anymore. With traveling, it doesn't allow for that. Oftentimes you meet people who are so transient, meaning you're constantly moving, they're constantly moving. We'll meet each other in this period of time in life. And it allows you to be intentional about the relationships that you're cultivating so that if you meet this person and you guys really aren't in resonance, you don't have to keep up with them anymore after you leave this place or even during the time that you're here. You can, again, just simply part ways and go in peace and love. Another way that travel has healed me and will heal you if you travel often, especially with solo traveling, you are put in very difficult, stressful situations, and it causes you to think on your feet. It causes you to be in your masculine energy a lot, and it challenges you. It really does. And you are able to see like truly what you're made of. And also, once you're out of that time of challenge, if you reflect and decide that, you know what, I don't really like how I responded to that situation, it allows you to grow and rise to the occasion for the next time and teaches you like, what do I need to do differently, or what do I need to learn, or what do I need to unlearn so that I can meet this challenge in the future should it happen again. I can think of so many challenges that I've been through. I've missed so many buses while traveling. It's not even funny. I've gotten stuck in places. I have gotten lost. My phone has died and I have no way to get home. I've been in so many challenges, and it tests me. It tests my patience, my endurance. It tests my ability to really think on my feet and make sure that at all times I am safe and I get to where I need to be. When you travel to a new place, especially new countries, you're open to the culture that you are being immersed into. You will have a desire to learn about what the people there have gone through, what the struggles are that they have experienced, and what they currently still experience. And oftentimes you can relate to that in some way, shape, or form. Travel has healed me because I realized that once I am able to look past my own bubble, I can see that, wow, people on the other side of the world are just like me. We experience a lot of the same struggles, a lot of the same uphill battles, a lot of the same positives in life, just in general. we have experienced a lot, and I can relate to you even if we don't speak the same language, even if we don't have the same background, even if we don't eat the same food, etc., etc. On a human level, on a soul level, I can relate to you. Once I learned the history, especially by the guided tour I took with Origin and Culture to Comuna 13, and when I went to the Memory House Museum earlier this month, I got to learn more of the history of Colombia, of the violence that this country has experienced past decades, and it allows me to really empathize with what the community has gone through. And so when I am walking through these spaces like Comuna 13, or I'm outside and I'm just observing the locals, I can really connect on a spiritual and energetic level with what has happened here. And it brings me a lot of presence to know that where I'm walking, there might have been a war here at one point, or somebody might have lost their life here, or there was just some form of struggle that might have happened here. And now to just witness how far that this country has come, I'm able to walk freely and peacefully and just live abundantly, is not something that I take for granted. And that is truly such a humbling experience. It also allows me to deeply connect with the land itself here, the nature here, because when you sit and you ground, I have experienced a lot of deep inner wisdom that has come by knowing the history and by sitting and just receiving all that wants to be given to me, especially when I sit with the trees that hold so much knowledge in their roots. It's not even funny. I just feel so one, so divine, and so cosmic that I'm like, wow, I'm a part of this. I am a part of this. And I would like to believe that I'm a part of the positive change that comes with globalization, with bridging the gap of life. We don't have to be separated by language. We don't have to be separated by region, by food, by culture, by anything. The more that people move away from where they are, go somewhere new, intermingle with locals, intermingle with other people that have done the same thing, that maybe from different backgrounds, we heal, taking what used to separate us and eliminating that. I can come to Colombia and meet Afro-Colombians or Colombians not of African descent, and we can exchange information, we can exchange stories, we can exchange food, we can exchange language, and ultimately connect with one another deeper and get rid of the illusion more and more, get rid of the illusion of separation between us, and create a more cohesive and loving world. I truly, truly, truly believe that. Understand that we don't have to be separated by anything. That's all an illusion of the mind. And that is the deepest way that travel has healed me. The more that I travel, the more that I realize we are all just expressions of each other. The fact that I'm in Colombia and I am able to relate to people, and I've never even been to South America. Some of them have never been to the US, but we share the same jokes, the same sarcasm. We like the same foods. We, just like we have a certain vision of life. And that is so beautiful. And that has just healed me so much to know that, like, I'm not alone in my way of thinking on this world. I'm not the only one that desires to help people genuinely and truly. And just in every way that that can be conveyed, I hope that I'm explaining that well, that that is something that has truly just healed me, is finding community wherever I go, experiencing the kindness, that people have for strangers. There have been so many people that have helped me that didn't know me from a can of paint, that bared with me as I struggled through Spanish and communicating with them. And just like, oh my gosh, you guys have no idea some of the things that I've been through in this past month. And I would not have gotten through it without the amazing kindness of some of the people here. And so I thank you so much. I don't know if I would be this person that I am today had I not gone after my dreams and traveled and met people and experienced things good and bad and tried new food and just stepped out of my comfort zone. I'm so, so, so happy to be this evolved version of myself that has been brought on by travel. And I cannot wait to see who I continue to evolve into as I continue my travels throughout life and throughout this world. Travel has really humbled me. And that in itself, being humbled, is such a healing experience. It helps you really dissolve the ego and realize that, like, yes, everybody has their own internal world because we're only ever ourselves, but also there is a bigger world outside of you, and we all play a piece in this world that we live in. Just how humbling traveling can be, especially when you don't know the language. I can think about all the times that I've been in the States, and what comes to mind is Spanish speakers when they come from other countries. I believe that I was always patient with people who didn't speak English as their first language, and we kind of got through it together. But I know that not everybody is. And so now that I am here in Colombia and I'm learning Spanish and I see how different locals react to me not knowing it, it makes me very humble to think, like, wow, other people leave their home countries for whatever reasons, and they take that bold leap of faith to go somewhere new where they don't know anybody, they don't know the language, they don't know the cuisine, they don't know their way around, that they figure it out. And an added layer can be the natives of that land being frustrated with you or impatient with you because you don't know that language. And so it's just a really humbling experience to be on the other side of that. It has taught me patience in so many forms. Patience when my bus is running late, or like the tour doesn't start on time, or food takes a long time to arrive, or when I'm stranded somewhere and I'm worried and anxious. And also patience with other people of other cultures. My background with being an American from the US is different. We're very much hustle culture, on go, hurry up, what are you doing, right? And in other countries, it's not like that. Other countries adapt a slower pace of life, like Jamaica or Puerto Rico, where you can wait a while to get food. People just kind of move slower. It's more of like an island time kind of vibe. You can't bring the mindset of an American to these countries. First of all, you're in somebody else's country. So you have to adapt to where you are, and you have to be flexible and understand that you're somewhere else. It's like going up in somebody else's house and then trying to tell them how to move about their space. You're in my home, so you're going to adapt to being in my space, or you can leave, right? So it's definitely taught me patience in that form, in the sense of I'm not home and I have to be adaptable to where I am and learn the ways of the land, learn the ways of the culture. It has also healed me by teaching me to be able to adapt to any situation, good or bad or indifferent. The more that we come into unison with people that we can relate to and that we have commonalities with and that we generally have good relationships with, the smaller that the world becomes and the bigger the impact that we have on one another. Who knows who I can't connect with or who can't connect with somebody through me. When we all have a high frequency, that just keeps going out. The more and more that we connect with each other, it really can be a movement of positivity and change. I see that more and more with me traveling, how I truly can relate to people, how we can all vibe high together, and how we can spread that good energy the more that we connect with each other. I used to be such a picky eater. If you knew me like a decade ago, I ate very much carbs. I just was not the healthiest. Travel has opened me up to a different palette, has invited in a healthier lifestyle into my life. Oh my gosh. And even now that I'm out of the country, out of the States, being able to actually taste like what fresh fruit and vegetables taste like without GMOs and without being processed and all of the things. Oh my gosh, that alone has healed me. That alone has healed me. Having access to food that's actually good for you, food that actually has come from the ground, heals you alone. The food of these places that I've gone to, Colombia, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, even the Virgin Islands, being able to access food that has come straight from the ground and has not been processed or tested on or injected with things, has brought such a peace of mind and a clarity that I did not have when I was in the States. Travel has literally expanded my perspective, how I view life. Everything is so much different about me. I have such a gratitude and a deep love for life that I never used to have before. I used to complain so much, and now I'm able to stop complaining and instead take that, what was going to be a complaint, and turn it into what am I grateful for. And when I started doing that, I started realizing that most of the time, what I was about to complain about has actually resolved itself when I switch my perspective, when I switch my frequency, and when I stay high, and I stay at a high vibe. That is just something that I never knew, I never did before traveling. But being around other people who don't have the same privileges that I do has really humbled me and exposed me to a new way of living, a new perspective, and just allowed me to get out of my own head and like get a reality check. You know what I mean? Traveling has also given me just a plethora of unforgettable experiences. Oh my gosh, from eating new foods, from trying new things, hiking, seeing the land, seeing the beautiful views, seeing history. Literally humbled to know that like where I walked, where I have been, where I am right now might not have been this decades ago. And it's a privilege to be able to be safe, to be able to walk, be able to solo travel and have these experiences. And I do not take that for granted at all. Travel has healed me in such a major way. If you ever have the ability to do so, do it. Travel as frequently, as often, and as lovingly as you can. It will literally transform you, I promise. Especially if you do it solo. Oh my gosh, or do it with somebody that you love, somebody that you can be yourself with. I highly recommend it, 10 out of 10. And that goes for anything in life. Chase your dreams as frequently, as often as you can. Step out of your comfort zone. Do what makes you happy. Do what brings you joy. Do what brings you peace as often as you can. You deserve to be happy in this life. You deserve to do things that bring you joy on a daily basis. And you deserve to live your dreams out loud for all to see and to be inspired by. I love you. Until the next video, peace and love. Namaste.